morning. So I want to believe that we've been using this book to improve our skills in analysis. If we haven't, I want to implore us again. It's a very helpful book that's been useful for me, and like you guys saw, we're able to use it to design a table that we use to plan our analysis of poetry. Wesley and I were able to apply that same plan to a different poem, and it was quite effective. So I've decided that we're going to do something similar for prose also. So as you can see here, it's Unit 24, passage questions. So I found a similar plan, actually two plans that I want to combine into one that we can apply in class. So I'll just scroll to this page. This one. So as you can see, this person began by situating the passage or the extract in the text as a whole. So we are made to know what the situation is just before that extract, and then maybe after too, so that we have a context kind of. Then it now goes on to characters, and in describing the characters or in analyzing them, he is able to use sensory descriptions, exclamations, rhetorical questions, and basically all other figurative elements. They fall in here because, of course, they are the ones that are used to portray characters, to convey the ideas that they represent. And then he now moved on to the novelist's concerns. This is just another word for themes. What big ideas have been explored through the characters and other elements. And then the narrative position here, that's the point of view. Is it third person? Is it first person? Is it omniscient? And so on and so forth. And then I was now able to relate the passage to the novel as a whole. You're able to see how this passage builds on other ideas in the text. What the relevance is to the text as a whole. Right. So this is one way to approach your prose analysis, passage-based prose analysis. But there is a more detailed plan somewhere down the line here. This is it. So similarly, you have situation and subject here. Then you have diction and figures of speech. Then you have symbolism. You have narrative position, structure, tone and atmosphere, and then themes. They are not different. It's just a more detailed approach to the previous one. Of course, in analyzing this and this, you would have discussed characters too. So, and then there's one more thing down here. You have examples of things that make up sentence structure. So this is a more close analysis of sentence structure, and you can see the features here, the examples and their effects. For example, you'll see the effect of simple short sentences. Writers make their choices deliberately. So if you have quite a number of short sentences, there is a reason. There is a reason for fragments, there's a reason for use of lists and all of those things. So I've been able to combine all three of these into one table, an infographic that we can use to plan for our own prose analysis. And this is it. So of course you can add to and remove from this. It's not 100%, but it's a starting point so that we can begin to apply and see how it works. So you have it up here: narrative elements and techniques, points to consider or examples, and then effects. Of course, in an exam you may not be able to write out examples. What you just need to point out is a few keywords that would remind you of what you're trying to analyze. So I think this would work for our own purposes. We have subject, situation, and the setting. Of course, every extract has a setting, and there's a reason why it's a set in that particular place. And then in discussing characterization, you would of course discuss figurative language. So all of those things about rhetorical questions, irony, and so on and so forth. Diction, the choices of words that that the writer makes, and then parallels and contrasts between characters. Then of course symbolism. This would be very relevant for a poem like for a novel like Howard's End that has a lot of symbols, narrative point of view, then structure. So in analyzing structure, you have to consider all of these things, right? Then tone and atmosphere, and then themes, motives, and concerns. I try to break it down so that you have a more, a fuller picture. So it can be any of these things. There's some psychosocial issues that that the writer can be exploring, right? Cultural issues, historical issues, and anything that can be termed a theme, a motif, or a concern. And then your own emotional response, like how effectively does the writer make you feel, sympathy or anger or whatever, right? So I hope that we'll be able to apply this into one of our texts, maybe into this class and in other classes. So thank you.